Peace. Happen now. Now is the vibe rate, the rate at which we're vibing. And we're not going too far in the past. We're not going too far in the future. Oh, oh, oh. Right now. Now is the vibrate. We're going to talk about dodecahedrons, cubes, 90-degree angles, the color green, and photons. And which a lot of this is information. As a matter of fact, just how I just made that video about how getting information from people. This is facts mixed with which I got a lot of it I got from a Dan Winter's video. As a matter of fact, I always tell everybody, man, go check out Dan Winter. If you're on the scientific side of figuring out spirituality too, like where you want to know, like just the basic, because it allows for you to add everything up, like where mathematics and science and spirit just all just like meet together and just love each other. But you know, if you're definitely into it. But again, though, this is information that's just straight up, so I just broke it down, put it into my own little way of delivering it. You know what I'm saying? Because it is facts. Facts is facts, and you can't steal a fact. You know what I'm saying? But first off, before even getting into it, you know that 90-degree angles, you know what I'm saying? 90-degree angles cause what they call destructive interference. And what that means is, like, as waves, you know, travel. So say if you got a 90-degree angle right here, like in a house or something, like how all our houses is built in a square-like shape and 90-degree angles. So let's keep that in mind. You know, in hospitals and stuff like that, you know, the most important place of your birth. Let me not get too far anyway. You got a 90-degree angle, and when a wave, you know, comes to it, you know, whether it's anything about energy in all forms of wave, whether it's a sound wave, energetic wave of love, whatever, you know what I'm saying? When it gets to this 90-degree angle, it kind of like how a wave crash, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? It distort compared to like something at a smoother angle where that wave could just keep on going, and it causes a constructive interference where it's not destructively interfering with the wave. And the 90-degree angle is what causes destructive interference. So all these 90-degree angles in our house, you know, the hospitals, matter of fact, your most important place of your soul, you know what I'm saying? Because we are wavelengths. Think about this. We are vibrations. We are waves. You know what I'm saying? We are wavelengths. We are vibrational frequencies. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, our energy is being messed up in these corners, you know what I'm saying? And two, back I made a video about the dunce and how they had a, you know, the dunce hat was made to actually in Atlantis to bring energy down into the person's brain to brighten them up. But also thinking about it well too though, how they would put you in a corner as well, like, you know, in that negative little spot, you know, going time out. And two, that sees how indirectly create more energy, like going in time out in the corner or go kneel down in the corner, you know, which, you know, much love to our parents, you know, on both sides, you know, because whether it's time out or a black person, whatever, however, white, black, however you got discipline, most of us in some form or fashion has been told to probably go in a corner or something, like, you know, like kneel in that corner. But that's negative energy. You're probably wondering why I use in that corner, like thinking of ways to probably chop your parents up in a million pieces. Raging, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, they can't do it, you know what I'm saying? Like, because that negative energy building up in that corner, you know. And two, you see that essence of that rage of God passing through you as a kid too. Because you wasn't taught how to be angry. Just know anger or something crossed me, like you know, that's true God nature, you know, as much as people don't want to recognize that as well. But anyway, staying on subject, so 90-degree angles, you know, so a cube, you know, creates that destructive interference, you know, and matter of fact, throughout its whole structure, you know, it has that 90-degree angle, so it's kind of creating destructive interference all the way around. So that cube, when you look at it, what's the shape that's resonated with the physical form? You know, the cube of Saturn, you know, the black box. You know, the cube is being in this physical form, being in the box in essence, you know what I'm saying? But so with being in that cube, that causes a destructive interference to the feminine nature, because a cube too, straight lines is male energy, you know what I'm saying? Straight lines is male like energy. Stop sign, you know, like stop, male like energy. You know what I'm saying? Like compared to like one of the little stops where it's smooth, like where it's like one of the little things where you go around, it's feminine energy and everybody's pretty happy, you know. But the cube causes this destructive interference. So basically, these straight lines of this cube is, you know, conflicting with the wavelengths of the feminine energy, you know what I'm saying, and destroying it. So via, you see why us being in this physical form kind of takes us away from our wavelength vibrational form, you know what I'm saying? Like this is the science behind it. So it ain't just, oh yeah, we're a physical being. Nah, it's science behind everything. It's the reason why a piece of pyrite and garnet are grounding stones, you know. Matter of fact, particularly good for Capricorn. Capricorn is ruled by what? Saturn. Capricorn's an earth sign. Earth shape is deal with a cube. You know, like all that. Malkut. You know, the cross, the crucifixion, you know, being in the physical form. That's all. Because too, when you take a cross, like say for instance, you take a cube and you open up a cube. So basically, you open up a cube and lay it out, it would turn into a cross. So again, Malkut. Now, I did a video speaking on this. Probably was like a video where I spoke on the 666 carbon aspect of it, you know, or the black box, like the Saturn worship, where I speak on the cube. But again, that's what it is. It's basically causing destructive interference to the feminine energy or the feminine wavelengths, you know what I'm saying? And two, on another level, which this is kind of new to me, again, information from the brother Dan Winters, where he spoke on how the dodecahedron, though, creates constructive interference and is one of the perfect embodiments of the golden mean ratio. The golden mean ratio is basically one of the it's basically the best way for waves to constructively interfere with each other. You know what I'm saying? And the golden mean ratio is the mathematical basis of how all life forms physically are shaped, and you know, and just just the whole embodiment of it. You know, like the fractals of the universe, in essence. But the golden mean ratio, again, is the best way for waves to constructively interfere. So the dodecahedron embodies that that shape to allow that to happen. And the internal external angles of the face of the dodecahedron, so which means internal. So the internal mean, like, so if you had a dodecahedron right here, the internal angles would be the angles inside of it. Would be like 63 degrees on the inside, and then on the outside is 170, you know. But the something with the ratio and me, and honestly, without getting too deep into it, that's just the angles. Because matter of fact, I caught myself, I'm like, I don't like to get too deep into information if I'm not ready to go deep into it, and I don't have a video previously on it, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, let me not even, go too deep into that. But again, those are the angles, though, of the face of the dodecahedron. And matter of fact, too, I'm trying to think of how you get a protractor and go get a shape of something in the shape of a dodecahedron too, to kind of just test the theory in essence. But again, it creates the perfect environment for golden mean ratio, or for constructive wave interference. So we see how the dodecahedron, matter of fact, the cube deal with earth, physical nature, and the dodecahedron deal with etheric nature, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's the shape for the ether, you know what I'm saying? Like, I forgot the different ones, because I forget, fire and air always get mixed up, like what shape goes for which one. But for sure, the cube is for earth. Dodecahedron is that fifth element in essence, and it's for the ether. You know what I'm saying? The ether is the what? The wavelengths that's unseen. The ether is the way the electrons. The ether is that 99% dark matter in the atom. The ether is those electrons that shows all possibilities when moving, when not seen under the naked eye, under the slit experiment. Go look up the slit experiment with the electrons, But that, that's that nature of dodecahedron, that wavelength, that non-physical, in essence, non-physical nature in essence. And again, to kind of just going down through the notes, making sure I cover everything, but negative wave interference caused by corners, of course, 90-degree angle. So again, with that being said, you see where, you know, the 90-degree angles, you know, causing deconstructive wave interference. Now we're about to get into a deeper aspect on how colors rock. So when you see colors on something, we got to realize that reason why something is a certain color is because it's absorbing all other colors except for the color that it's displaying. So say for instance, all biology, all plant life, you know, the reason why it's green is because it's absorbing all colors except for green. So in other words, it's spitting green out. It's like, I don't want green. Or like, say for instance, this orange hat is absorbing all colors except for oranges. The orange is reflecting out, and that's why we see it, you know. And to get deeper explanation, you might want to go look up, like, because I know some people, but how does it actually? Because I used to be that person too. I mean, and I still am on that extent of like questioning things deeper, but I kind of ease up off of it if I know I'm just going deep to where I'm just kind of, where the deeper questioning is either going to confuse me or it don't make sense, then, you know, I just like, all right, I don't have to go deeper. I understand the aspect, that's good enough, you know, in essence, you know, to just know that much about it. But so getting into, you know, the colors absorbing and then spitting out, you know what I'm saying? Well, which is called like negative green, but green is a poisonous electrical field. You know what I'm saying? When we think about electricity, we think about male energy or Saturn. Saturn got that electrical energy. You know, that basically making us age in essence, you know, causing us to age. The electrical energy zapping that youth, you know what I'm saying, from that magnetic field. But yeah, green is a poisonous electrical field. And so say for instance, you have what you call photons of light. And a photon of green, you know, a photon of green light tilts at a 90-degree angle. So that 90-degree angle that photon tilt at is causing destructive interference. So, you know, the destructive interference of that green color, you know, them plants like, no, keep that away from here. Like, we life, you know, this is source energy. This is, you know what I'm saying? Like, get that destructive interference away from us, you know. Get that 90-degree angle away from us. So that's basically why we see the green color when looking at biology. And two, that's the whole thing with Hebrew letters. And like if you tilt a Hebrew letter a certain way in your mind, or like envisioning a certain Hebrew letter, it changes the tilt of your torus field in essence, you know. And this is also too, I'm about to get into, but like navigating your plasma field and why bliss experiences are important, whether it's DMT, doing it through meditation, ayahuasca, which ayahuasca is DMT indirectly, you know, the psilocybin from the mushrooms. But you want to connect to these lucid dream, you know, promoting lucid dreaming to connect to your astral body or to your plasma body to learn how to navigate during the afterlife. But again, not afterlife, but you know, when you transition, because it ain't no afterlife, we're always living. So that green photon, you know, and then two, so picture, let's see right quick, give y'all the, I ain't do no good. This is a decent enough job to get the thing done, but you know, Taurus feel like the little, matter of fact, it's like the little apple-shaped feel around us, and you see why we're attracted to certain areas of the female, because that resembles something, you know. And matter of fact, too, while I'm saying that, and while it's on my mind, and you go look at the Virgin Mary, like the Virgin Mary, or the way she's draped, like a standing statue of Virgin Mary. In most ways she's depicted, when you really look at it, she's like a yoni. Like her head is like the clitoris, like, and then that all that, you know, the clothes she wear kind of waves around her. That's like the vaginal lips. You know what I'm saying? Like letting you know it was the yoni the whole time, like the mother of God. Wasn't no and two, look how much the male trying to be like the female. The feminine energy is the wavelength, the unseen energy, but yet the male was depicted as, oh yeah, like I put this baby in this woman without touching her. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm trying to be the real woman. I'm trying to be the woman energy, like whatever. But again, though, Taurus field, so you know, where it's straight up or it could be tilted at certain angles. You know what I'm saying? I just did two, but you know, and two, you would probably, so in essence, two, with a plasma field or a Taurus field moving, you would move. So if your plasma field facing like this, you would be able to move up and down because you're like a suction cup, like you would suck things, you know, through the Taurus field and move in a certain direction. You know, so this way, you know, move this way. If I was to that angle like this, it's suction cup and, you know, move that way. Suction cup, this suction. You know, but again, moving our plasmic field. So, you know, the color green tilts at a 90-degree angle, and that's why all of nature spits out the color green, because that's why we're seeing the color green, is because it's being spit back out. So and colors, let's see. Yep, and a color is basically photons with different angles of tilt. So how, say for instance, green tilts at a 90-degree angle, orange may tilt at a 40-degree angle, and red may tilt at a 50-degree angle. And that's not, you know, the exact, I'm just giving you an example on, you just, you know, each color may have a different tilt angle. The Taurus field have a different tilt angle. And so we have a cone in our eye, like a cone shape, how can I say, almost like the retina, but it's like a mechanism in the eye that receives color in essence, and it has that cone shape because cones too are used to measure tilt angles of donuts or of plasma fields. So our eyes picking up on the tilt angles of this color. So it's like, oh, tilt angle 90 degrees of this photon, oh, this green, you know what I'm saying? So we see green, you know what I'm saying? Tilt angle 40 on this photon when it reads through the eye, then all right, color is orange, you know, stuff like that. And basically, you know, as the whole thing of, you know, that all ties into to everything, you know what I'm saying, the 90-degree angles of the house and why they promote that, and certain colors causing certain vibrations, you know, and photon having a specific tilt angle. And again, that was the thing with John Dee and with Shakespeare and with John Dee and forgot the other person name, Kelly or whatever, but dealing with the Ophanium and the Enochian letters and stuff like that, and calling down angels. You know, that has a lot to do with it. It's Taurus field tilt angles, and you know, and how to maneuver, you know, your Taurus field, your plasma body, because again too, we go through these things on a spiritual level. So when that time is to transition, you know, instead of getting sucked back into the matrix, you know what I'm saying, you could navigate your plasma to go where you need to go, you know what I'm saying, but you won't know how to navigate it when you're stuck in the physical matrix. That's what a lot of people, I don't be wanting to scare people about, but like, the more you're scared of psychedelics and scared of bliss experiences and meditation, the more you're locking yourself in your physical form, you know. Just want to, you know, don't panic, but at the same time, panic. Sorry, not sorry. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, don't panic, but you know what I mean? Like, definitely just, you know, you want to deal with that. If, you know, if you plan on operating outside of your physical body, let's just say that. If you just feel like, fuck it, like, I want to hedge my bet on the side of the physical world and just feel like, hey, you know what, to hell with the afterlife. I think that, say for instance, speaking for myself, like I think that Carl Ray Haynes is the end all be all for my soul and for me, and that's it. Like, you know, God ain't great, you know, enough to allow for me to get another life, and I should just, you know, If that's the mind frame you got, then word, and don't worry about it. Matter of fact, I'm doing like my reasons why you shouldn't calcify your pineal gland. Like if you don't want to navigate your plasma, then then you don't want to do DMT and ayahuasca and all these things. But if you do want to know how to navigate, your plasma field, whether it's in the astral planes while in the physical body, or again in the transitioning state, like when we leave in the physical, if you want to know to not get sucked in by those archons trying to bring you back into this matrix, you know what I'm saying? You could navigate and go towards that heart of the sun and squeeze your soul through the heart of the sun and go where you need to go to the next lesson, whatever that case may be. But again, it's learning how to maneuver your plasma field. That's why all the yogis and all the just indigenous people all over, like when you look at any type of spirituality in the East, on multiple levels, is dealing with that connection to the unseen, whether it's through meditation or psychedelics, because Africa got raped of its psychedelics, but Africa had like a abundance of psychedelics and tribes who dealt with it, you know what I'm saying? That's what matter of fact, the cartoon Adventure Time indirectly speaks to the Mushroom Wars. Like, Adventure Time takes place after the Mushroom Wars. Like, that's kind of a personification of that situation. But, like, the Mushroom Wars are them taking all the mushrooms out of Africa. And two, that you see how, like, honestly, that's where we fall to dogmatism too, of religions and stuff like that. Whenever you're taken away from that true connection, man, that DMT, ayahuasca, all these psilocybin, that's straight connections. Like, that ain't no I wonder if this person telling me the truth type of shit. Like, excuse my diction. But it's like I feel like that same feeling that I always told me as a little kid that this Catholic church shit was some bullshit is the same voice that's talking to me on these trips. It's like, damn, all right. Now it's even more loud and more vivid, so I can really know and understand that this is the true voice, But when you stuck in these dogmatisms and stuff like that, because that's another thing too I want to get into, but this video, it won't serve it justice. I'm gonna save it for another time. But the dogmatism, I'm gonna speak on it a little bit though, like how dogmatisms of all levels lock us into the physical form. And even with that, being a vegan, or you could either be atheist and still be dogmatic, because you like, I'm atheist, so I don't want to learn nothing about no religions. That's kind of in essence holding yourself to a dogmatic view instead of just being an open-minded soul that's observing. You know what I'm saying? Like, these labels, like being vegan, that's a label that's locking you down in the material world. Like, oh, I'm a vegan. This is my identity. Like, this is what I do. I identify with this physical thing, and I identify with this physical thing, and I identify with this physical thing. And then you're gonna wanna, then when you transition, then you're gonna wanna go into the non-physical, and they're gonna be like, man, look at all that. Look at all that in there, man. You can't get this way with all that what you got in there, man. Like, I'm sorry, And it is what it is. We still love you, and we don't hate you because we're making you go where you gotta go. Because it is what it is. And you've been told by your intuition all through your life, which direction was probably, now you say probably, which direction was the right direction in essence, but you ignored that voice. But I digress. But yeah, y'all, it's definitely though seeing like the importance of navigating the plasma body and how all these little tilt angles, and the science of spirituality, like it is science of physics and all these things that go into spiritual knowledge or spiritual information or just spirituality in general. You know what I'm saying? Like, our plasma body actually have a certain electrical charge and moves a certain type of way. You know what I'm saying? Like, matter of fact, 'cause speaking of Dan Winters, if you really want to be on some trying to prove how ghosts and stuff exist, he actually created a machine, or him and somebody else, that could actually gauge or view somebody's plasma leaving their bodies during death. But all these things exist, and that's the thing too, where you start to realize though, you only, again, what dimensions you open up to, since you only watch the media, TV, or you watch the TV and you consume what they give you. You know, you don't know about these different things, you know what I'm saying? Because you're stuck in that dimension that just spoon feeds you stuff that they're brainwashing you with, instead of looking out and reaching out for more information. If you notice something, lazy people don't get this type of information, you know? Like people who think reading ain't, you know, that reading ain't that fundamental, and don't think that learning ain't, you know, ain't what it's about. They ain't, you know, and then they complain about being confused about life. It is what it is in those situations. But I digress. But just remembering the dodecahedron creates constructive interference, you know what I'm saying? Perfect embodiment of the golden ratio, the golden mean ratio, the left spiral that go like that, you know. And the cube is the exact opposite. It creates destructive interference, that male energy, like straight lines crashing each other. Phallus against phallus. You know what I'm saying? Like very angry energy, you know, via Mars, via all the just straight line, non-curvish energy, you know what I'm saying? So cube, 90-degree angles, the color green, poisonous electrical field. It's a photon. The photon of green has a tilt angle of 90 degrees, you know what I'm saying? And the color is basically a photon with different tilt angles. You know, tilt angles, the torus field is tilt angles, you know, like a torus field, straight up torus field on this side. Well, I guess you could say it was 9 degrees to being straight up, so maybe this would be like a 9-degree tilt. You know, but again, the colors we see are the colors that are being spit out. So malachite, like, I'm not absorbing green. You know, like we absorbing green. It was funny, like I caught that, like we absorbing green in a different context, because you know that's what malachite does promote. But you know what I'm saying, it's like because the paper green ain't really real green anyway, you know what I'm saying? So technically, you know. But again, with colors too, colors are if something is a certain color, that means it's spitting out the color that you see. So if something is red, it's spitting out the color red. It's absorbing all other colors and it's spitting out the color red. If something is purple, it's spitting out all other colors, and it's taking in all other colors and spitting out the color purple, you know. So keep that in mind. But peace. Happy now. Now is the vibrate. We're not going too far in the future. Not going too far in the past. Right now.